Well, good morning, everyone. Thomas Montgomery here. It's a beautiful Thursday morning, September 15th, 2022. We are at the halfway point, approximately, of the month of September. If you're one of our white label partners, we should be on track right now, and we should have at least 4 clients enrolled into one of the funding programs. If not, you need to let us know what's broken, what's not working for you, because we definitely want to help you reach that goal of at least 8 clients a month, which should generate gross income to you of $100,000. If you don't understand how that mathematics works, we can talk about it separate offline. Today, we have a significant announcement. And I admit, when you look at it, it looks almost too good to be true. Obviously, it's not. Otherwise, we wouldn't say it. We'd get in trouble if we said something that wasn't true. So one of our banking partners has just launched this initiative with us. And the topic is correct. This is not a misrepresentation. SBA funding in how long? 1 day. Now, technically, they mark it as hours. We're going to just use 1 day because while it could literally fund in the same day as application, and that's unheard of. Any of you that have any background in SBA funding, to hear that an SBA guaranteed loan from the time of application to go through underwriting and to get funded in the same day, or we're going to say in 1 day, the bank says in hours. So because you and I know, well, if we apply at 4 p.m., then it's probably not going to fund in the same day. But this is unheard of. This is a deal. This changes everything. All right. So historically, SBA financing has been attractive to small businesses because of the great terms. But sometimes the time frame has not met small business needs. We've even seen some small business owners go to things like a merchant cash advance because they needed quick funding. Well, you and I have a new significant arrow in our quiver: quick funding with all the beneficial terms of an SBA loan. This is drastically different than anything else in the marketplace. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the funding details. Funding in hours, and read this. This is specifically and exactly correct. So if you can assimilate this and reflect it in your marketing outreach, your communication to generate leads, you're going to have a powerful inflow. No tax returns, no financials. And yes, we are talking about an SBA guaranteed loan. Funding in hours, no tax returns, no financials. No bank statements needed. And again, no tax returns, no financials. That's a bit redundant. Still has the same low payments that everyone would expect from an SBA loan. It's a 10-year, thus 120-month repayment term that keeps the payments low. This is not for real estate, notice, and you'll see it's for working capital or equipment. So a 10-year repayment term on working capital is about the best you're ever going to get. Once in a while, you'll have people that are financially illiterate say, I want to repay it back in 15 or 20 years. You're not going to get a 15 or 20-year loan on working capital. On real estate, of course, you could. Low interest rates. They're kept low because the federal government limits how much interest rates can be on SBA guaranteed loans. To me, this is obvious, but we often get asked, yes, it's monthly payments. No, it's not weekly payments. No, it's not daily payments. These are monthly payments and no prepayment penalty. Now, would you really want to pay it off early? If you've got low interest rates, would you want to take your existing capital to pay off this loan versus using that money for other purposes in your business? I don't know. We'd have to look at that. But the bottom line is no prepayment penalty. Again, can be used for working capital or equipment. So just about everything, but not for real estate. So does the SBA offer guaranteed loans for real estate? Yes. Can you and I help them with that? Yes, but not with this specific funding platform. And again, confirmed, stated, accurate, funding literally in hours. It's obviously a very simplified underwriting process. All right, so let's talk about how to plug clients into this. First thing that you want to do, now I realize some of you are RVPs. So if you're a regional vice president, you're listening, you're monitoring, and then you're pushing this out to your team of white label partners. If you are in fact a white label partner, then this hits closer to home, because this is a significant new arrow in your quiver to help generate new clients and help your current clients get funding. But with that being said, if you are a white label partner, then the first thing you want to do is get the client enrolled in the guaranteed financing program. We've had other trainings on that, the step-by-step. You have a white label drop box. You have the agreement in your drop box. You edit that, you get the client under contract. You upload that contract into the same drop box. You let us know, and then we can go implement. But we've had detailed discussion on that. So if that's not clear, let us know and we can walk you through it. Yes, the guaranteed financing program continues to have the $100,000 guarantee. That's in writing. That's a promise. That's a commitment. We will help any client that enrolls get at least $100,000. We promise that. The enrollment's going to be obviously through one of our white label partners. We want to do more to not be a competitor of our white label partners. And so our distribution model going forward is driving business through our white label partners, so they're able to be successful. Their success is our success. So step one, got to get the client in the guaranteed financing program. Timothy's asking a good question. Well, if they're in the SBA Express, will this work? No. And I know that's confusing, but the SBA Express is with a different lender partner. It has a different set of documentation, and it is not this fast. It's fast, but it's not fast, right? Funding in 10 days, 10 working days, and then you got to add weekends in there. So really we're looking at 14, 15 days. So clients enrolled in the SBA Express will not be eligible for this because the process is different. The documentation is different, just so you know. So probably going forward, you probably will offer the SBA Express offering less frequently and probably stick with the go-to guaranteed financing. So we need to get the client enrolled first. We're going to need to get a quick few documents from the client. We'll take care of that. I mean, if you want to do the mentoring, that's fine. But for most of our white label partners, they're just having us do the mentoring and client implementation to keep it streamlined. One of the things that we'll gather from them right away, just so you know, and so they know to expect, is the PFS, personal financial statement. And so again, if you want to help them develop that and submit it into the Dropbox, that's fine, but we're happy to do it as well. So then we need to get the application for the loan. So it's a very brief application. We'll send it to them via Adobe. It's a 2-page Adobe packet. Doesn't take long at all. And then again, we've got the contract with the bank. We've got preferred relationship, great reporting. So then we will submit that deal into the bank, and upon approval, literally funding in hours. Obviously, if you need support from us, that's email, text. We recommend you not call. The call line really should be for clients, but you can text us, and if you want us to call you back, we can, or email. All right, so we originally had a different topic planned today. We're going to talk about financial literacy, which is good and important, but this is a huge deal. The news just came out on this very recently. We wanted to get it out to all of you. So Jeremy's asking, can sole proprietorship / DBAs qualify? Yes, yes. Now, speaking of that, I want to be clear. When we enroll clients in the guaranteed financing program, and you'll see this in the agreement, right? So there's no surprises. We are promising them at least $100,000. That's in writing. Now, where that funding will come from, we don't know, because we have to look at the client's mitigating circumstances. So what we don't do is go out and promise that they'll get a certain amount of money from a certain lending source, because people's individual mitigating circumstances are different. And it may be that person A qualifies for X and person B qualifies for Y and person C qualifies for Z. So don't misinterpret. So are we making a $100,000 guarantee? Yes. Will it come from in full or part this initiative? It may or may not. We need to gather a little bit of data from them. So what's my point? When we're out recruiting and marketing and attracting clients, we need to make sure that we're doing it ethically and accurately. So the guaranteed financing program that they enroll in tells the story. You have that to edit with your contact information as a white label partner and your pricing. But we are not promising them some specific source of funding, because until we've gathered data to see what the right source of funding is based upon their mitigating circumstances, we don't know if that's right for them or wrong for them. So this is a great example of a type of a funding instrument that's real, that's accurate, that is now part of our portfolio. But the bottom line is the clients come into the guaranteed financing program, and then we'll quickly determine what types of funding, sources of funding that they would be best qualified for. Many will be a great fit for this, but it may not be the right fit for everyone. All right, let's see what other questions we have. So there's going to be underwriting done for this as well as every other funding program. And that's important for us all to realize. There's no free money out there. So every lender wants to be repaid. Different lenders have different underwriting criteria. There's the 3 C's that we've talked about: credit, collateral, capacity. Each lender and frankly, even each lending program has different criteria. Some look at business credit only. Some don't look at credit at all. Some require a certain time in business. So a number of them don't require minimum time in business. Even with SBA loan programs, it vastly varies. So don't worry too much about specific underwriting per program, because that's really not your burden. That's our burden. What you'll want to do is go out, attract clients, let them know that they have access to the guaranteed financing program, minimum of 100,000 guaranteed. We're going to provide them assistance with improving financial literacy, building loan package, and helping them become credible enough. And we guarantee a minimum of $100,000. All right, let's see here. All right, Arusha is asking, does she need to pay anything to avail this offer? And so if I interpret that question directly, no, right? So what you're going to do is, as a white label partner, and I believe you're also a regional vice president, is you'll be able to go out to the marketplace, use your skill set, your communication skills to generate awareness. Most of you are working with Scott Stroud, our Chief Marketing Officer, to set up landing pages so you can drive people to your landing page. They fill out the terms and conditions for the guaranteed financing program right on your landing page, and bam, you've got a client. If you don't want to use online terms and conditions, then your alternative is to take the editable Adobe that we've provided you and use that for, you use Adobe or DocuSign or what have you, if you prefer to. But certainly, as we've talked about recently, the online terms and conditions is the way to go. What I ask that you not do, though, is start consulting with the client. We have the lender relationships. And so as a white label partner, you can make a lot of money helping a lot of people, but don't dig too deep into the client's qualifications, because it could happen that you give them, frankly, bad advice and set forth wrongful expectations. And we don't want that. That's hard to recover from a client that has unrealistic or untrue expectations. So as a white label partner, you take the program as it is, which is outstanding, out to the marketplace, $100,000 guarantee. You can certainly make reference to the different types of funding programs that we have available but we need to get them in, and then we will work with them to make sure that we're going after the right type of capital based upon their mitigating circumstances. So our goal isn't to teach you the underwriting matrix of every type of funding that's out there. It's too much, and those change, and that creates liability for us, because if lender A has changed their underwriting criteria and we didn't notify you in time, and you're selling people off of that outdated underwriting criteria, then what type of liability do we have? So we do not recruit clients, we do not promote to clients, we do not sell clients that they're going to get some specific deal. We don't know what the specific deal will be until they sign up. We gather documents for their loan package, which we can do very quickly, and then we create a funding plan for them. So we'll work with you on that, but the devil's in the details. We need to get the client on board, start gathering documents, and see where we can go. But can you certainly let them know that we have innovative, unique, fast, affordable funding programs like SBA Funding in One Day? Absolutely. So you can use that as a bullet, a sales point, but you don't want to promise any client any one source of funding, because we need to gather some documents and see what's best for them. So I know that can be a bit confusing. So again, and we're getting this question from Timothy again. So we are happy to do the mentoring with the clients if you're a white label partner. Alternatively, if you just want to go gather the documents from the client, get them into the Dropbox, and then we can review with you and create the funding plan for the client. But if you want us to collect the documents, we can. If you want to collect it, you can. But if you're going to collect them, we need to have a good systematic system in place, process in place, so we're efficient. All right, so tomorrow we'll regroup on the original scheduled training topic, which was on the reminder of the free financial literacy curriculum that you can use as a lead generator. In summary, today's announcement was that we now have a new funding vehicle, SBA Funding in One Day, historically unheard of in the marketplace. Has a number of great attributes. No tax returns or financials needed. Low payments. It is a 10-year, 120-month repayment term. Interest rates are low. You might say, well, what's the interest rate? Well, who determines the interest rate? The bank does. Are you the bank? Am I the bank? No. But it's usually cued off of the prime rate. Now, the truth is the prime rate's going to continue to go up for a while, isn't it? Because the Federal Reserve is anticipating yet another interest rate increase. So we're not going to quote payments. We're not going to quote interest rates. That's what the bank does, the lender does. But certainly it is a 120-month repayment term. The interest rates are low. Those are capped, regulated by the federal government. It is monthly payments, not weekly or daily, and there is no penalty for early prepayment. Can this funding program, which falls under the guaranteed financing program, cannot be used for real estate? So can we do we just did a real estate deal this morning, $395,000 a single family residence in South Florida. So can we do real estate? Of course. But this specific funding program cannot be used for real estate, which is kind of makes sense. There's no way to turn around a real estate deal like this through the SBA in one day. Funding quickly. Again, we covered the process. What's the process? Super simple. First, the client has to enroll in the guaranteed financing program. You might say, well, why is that? Why do they have to enroll first? Well, because there's going to be work that's going to be done. You deserve to be paid. We need to pay our business paralegals to develop the loan package. And so the loan package is a refundable deposit. They're going to pay you that $2,500, and you can make it more or less, but they're going to pay you the refundable deposit. It comes back to them, so there's no risk to them. But the bottom line is, once they have enrolled and paid you, which it's okay to be paid for doing work that you're doing. That's the way that our economy works. Then we'll work on building out their funding plan and gathering and analyzing the documents. So you might have a client says, okay, well, I don't want to sign up. I just want you all to work for free. No, we don't build loan packages for free. Well, I guess we kind of do because of the grant. They'll pay the refundable deposit to you. You set how much it is. $2,500 is the norm. You could make it more. You could make it less. I know Bernard usually likes to set his at $3,500. So he charges more generally. Some of you, I think, are going lower than $2,500. That would be your choice. But once the client's enrolled, then we do the work. And then we can get the application into the right lender, the right source of capital. We'll help them get that submitted in. We've got the relationships. We've got the portal access to the banks. We can get that in. And that way they can get funding quickly. So any questions? I hope you all share the same excitement that I do. There's a few other questions that I'll cover, but if you have any before we end, you can go ahead and type it into the Q&A. There's questions about SBA funding. So again, the SBA is not the lender. The SBA is the guarantor. So we have to go through an SBA approved lender, which we do. There are different SBA programs. This is an example of one. There's 504 loans, 7A, 7A Express. Each have their own underwriting criteria and maxes. The max SBA guarantee is approximately $5 million. And so once we get above a $5 million funding, it's more difficult, right? Because now the lender is taking the risk versus the SBA guaranteeing the loan. But I don't think it's in our best interest to break down, well, what's the difference between an SBA 7A and a 7A Express, this and that. That's too much. I think in the field, what you need to know is that you and I have a great ability to help people. We guarantee them a minimum of $100,000. The way that they access the resources, the services, the loan packaging, the banking relationships we have is by signing up through you, the white label partner, into the guaranteed financing program. There's no risk to them. They have the guarantee. There is the refundable deposit. Frankly, you can make it refundable or non-refundable, and you also select what that dollar amount is. $2,500 is the norm. All right, we got a question. Can you enroll yourself? Absolutely, yeah. So if you are an RVP or a white label partner, if you want to go through the guaranteed financing program, you certainly can do that. And I was working with Collis yesterday. Collis is on the line. He's wanting some additional working capital. And so we walked him through the steps, which is great because if you don't know how to enroll yourself, you wouldn't know how to enroll anyone else. And so it's fine to participate, but there's no requirement. You can be an RVP and not a white label partner. You can be a white label partner and not an RVP, and you can be an RVP or a white label partner and be a client or not be a client. There's no requirements. All right, well, I think we covered a lot. So what do you want to take away from this? Well, first of all, I emailed each of you this morning because I was excited, and hopefully you are too, this agenda. So you have this in writing, these key bullets that, of course, you could just extract off this Zoom if you want, but you have this Adobe one-page agenda in your email. Your expertise as white label partners is taking the message out to the community. That's what you do. That's what you get paid to do. That's what should allow you to earn $100,000 this month in September. And so here's extra ammo that you have now in your weapon to be able to go out and create awareness and close deals. And that's what you get paid to do, right? You got to bring the clients on board. We talked about yesterday, we talked a little bit about today. If you use online terms and conditions, you'll have the highest conversion percentage. A number of you have worked or are working with Scott Stroud to get your terms and conditions online. If you've not done that, I encourage you to consider it. I mean, you don't have to do it, but you'll have because now you'll have a landing page that you're driving your prospects to. They'll go to the landing page. They don't even need to talk to you. They click, I accept, I enroll. They agree to your terms and conditions. That again is the Jeff success story. We've talked several times about Jeff Sokol. He enrolled over 400 people in 1 month, 1 30-day period. And how did he do that? He worked with Scott, got his landing page up, and just drove people in, and people enrolled and enrolled and enrolled. He ended up with 53 to 54% conversion rate. So he bought leads, drove them to his landing page, and had about 800 hits, plus or minus, and a little over 400 enrollments. So do you have to do the Jeff model? Absolutely not. But it just further substantiates having a landing page and online terms and conditions. All right, well, we are ready to go. I guess the last question, Lynette's asking, do we help startups? Absolutely, we can help startups. And yes, the SBA, some SBA programs work for startups, some don't. That's where you get into the details. But yes, the SBA will loan money to startups. Yes, they'll loan money to home-based businesses. Yes, they'll loan money to sole proprietorships. A lot of people think that's not the case, but that is true. You can always refer to the SOP, the standard operating procedures of the SBA, to understand exactly their rules and requirements. All right, well, thanks everyone. Hopefully you'll use this. Let's make sure that we're on track. We need to get at least 8 clients enrolled this month. If you're doing that, you're on track to earning 100,000 this month, which is our goal for each of you. And we're out there making a difference. We're helping small businesses build their financial literacy and build their loan packages and get access to capital to start or grow a business. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you back tomorrow. Bye-bye.